Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have the NA Friday Night Fight event announced by Killer from ANV. If you're interested in broadcasting events on BLM, message as Guardian Eagle, myself on Discord, and be glad to set you up. But we got two great maps. The first one, Hills Counterattack. Second one, Piper Farm. You're seeing an overview of both of those maps right now. And thank you to all our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the join button below this video and you can see the monthly prices and perks that you will receive with that. With that out of the way, our teams for tonight on the Confederacy, we have Army of Northern Virginia, 5th North Carolina, Iron Brigade, Pickett's Brigade, Shenandoah Valley Regulars, and the 4th North Carolinian Cavalry. Whereas on the Union side, we have the Pennsylvania Army, Corn Brigade, and the 42nd Pennsylvania. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy this event.
I think it's balanced enough, but we'll see what happens. So straight off the bat, we've got a CSA regiment already moving down the left flank. That is the 5th NC. Oh, there's Douglas
Where the fuck is everybody
with
at?
the flag.
How the fuck? Let me find out they got a bail on. Let me find out who got a bail on. You're gonna die.
Guys.
Oh, Huncho's
Peaks and
not
valleys,
happy.
let's go.
Let's go.
And the Union looks like they are stacking this top corner and having a smaller regiment at the back. So we got PA, 42nd PA. It's the PA regiments, and then over by the cornfield we have all the way back here in the cornfield, the 30th Ohio. Something different. They're not. Like he said, they're trying to pull a bit of a sneaky. So we'll see how that works. CSA not yet fully moved out of spawn. We've got another regiment over here with 5th NC is the Pickett's Brigade and some SR guys. And over on the right side of the map, we've got ANV. And in the middle, we have IB. Okay. And here's the artillery guys. We've got some PB, some IB.
Yeah, we'll take one.
And ANV. So how many artillery guys do we have in total on our team? Quite a lot, apparently. 14. That's gonna really hurt the CSA. Starting off, it just seems like 5th NC and PB, some of the SR guys, are just gonna have a bit of a shootout with the Union guys down here, with the 42nd and the Pennsylvania Army. You can see we got Kilroy right there. Artillery already trying to line up their shots for this corner. But 42nd knows this, and that's where they're already lined up with it. And we ninja. 30th Ohio is hiding all the way back there in the corn, as the ANV and IB take their positions on the fence. So looks like the Union is kind of split into three. Well, they've got three different independent regiments here. You got PA, the Pennsylvanias over there, 42nd and Pennsylvania Army, and the 30th Ohio hiding back in the corn here. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds with only having three regiments against a bunch of smaller ones. But for the time being, there's just a little bit of fighting going on. There's not a bit of shooting back and forth, nothing substantial. And here's the 4th NC Cav, who were originally on the Union, but balanced back over to CSA. The Union's just kind of taking their time here. Lost a couple of guys from maybe some of these volleys and stuff. But it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
I wouldn't say
They couldn't hit an elephant at this distance. Please don't say that. What did you do before the war?
Timer's on 39 minutes right now, so. Union's just gonna let the CSA. Oh, there's a nice artillery shot. That's what they've been waiting for. Don't know how many it killed, but it was definitely fairly accurate. What cannon did that come from? It came from one of these two. I'm gonna take a wild guess. I'm just gonna say it was my artillery boys, because why not? Another good artillery shot that seemed to knock down their flag again. Losing a lot to artillery, the 42nd PAs. And you can kind of see that on their tickets a little bit at the top. It's starting to waver a bit on the end. These guys on the right here need to just move down and completely take that corner, because right now they're just, you know, shooting across the field's not going to do too much for them, in all fairness. But I think they probably suspect there's something in the corn. They just don't know where. And 30th is starting to move up. It's a very slow start to what Hills normally is. Normally the strategy, especially for the attackers, is to take the point and force the Union to come out of their hiding places and come and hit them. But
what is the name of that song?
The Union is playing very passive, and the CSA is kind of letting them. But we do have some movement over here on the right side. Union right, CSA left. From PB and 5th NC going all the way down. Does the 42nd PA know they're coming? That's the big question. Another good artillery shot. Knocking over a lot of guys there. Did it kill anyone? Oh, it does kill a couple of guys. And it knocked over Kilroy again. And another good artillery shot. Artillery is... It's definitely making up for their numbers. And here comes the CSA. Pushing up. Pushing up onto the Union. I don't think they're definitely outnumbered, so they're not gonna win this battle, but they'll definitely do some damage. And you have the Pennsylvania Army moving up.
They're like 200 yards now.
Fill in the gaps.
One just popped on the corner behind us.
Be interesting to see
Keep it hot. If you see him, kill him.
if the Union are the ones that moves up first, or if the CSA are the ones that moves up first. Hood getting destroyed there by that artillery shot. Let's see. 5th NC is... 5th NC and PB are they're, you know, they're giving it a good go. They're outnumbered here, but artillery is helping them a lot. And 42nd PA is kind of opening themselves up, standing in the open.
What's going on? Are we independent?
On the CSA right side of the map, the 30th Ohio has moved up into the corn. I don't know if they've actually engaged yet or whether they're still waiting. But I don't believe the CSA know that they are here. They do have somebody keeping an eye on the corn. But for them, they're just shooting from across the field. They're not going to get a ton of kills, but it's kills nonetheless. It's been 10 minutes, and the USA is halfway to engaged. Just over halfway to engaged. Artillery very much playing a vital role in forcing the 42nd and the Pennsylvania Army to do something. Nice shot there. Friendly artillery shot. I don't think that killed anybody, but it was very much close.
Out in the open right here.
40-second PA moving back to the fence. Losing quite a few skirmishing deaths there from 5th and C. Hood is getting aggy and seeing if he can pop some shots through these bushes. Another skirmishing or maybe out of line. The officers and their pistols trying to do some work and getting sniped by Sir Gorney Weaver. The CSA is beginning to get more and more aggressive now, which is good. 30 Ohio appearing on the fence, shooting down into A and V. Did they get some kills? They got a couple kills. But all the battle, all the real fighting currently is happening in this top corner up here. Tickets are close, but the attackers have more, so it's good for them to be a bit closer.
Keep a high rate of fire.
Alright, hold your shots when you see one, Cap.
Southwest. They're hiding behind that tree. In the bush.
Okay, no, movement points.
Oh no, 40 second, oh no.
Maybe 40 seconds attempting a charge here. They may try and wipe out what's left of the CSA. But the CSA might be falling back, or are they just holding? No, they're just holding right now. Here comes 42nd. They're gonna run straight into all the CSA, ready with their shots. Is this beneficial for them or not? I guess we'll find out. We got one CSA Rambo coming in, getting shot by Kilroy. And the Pennsylvania Army moves down
On the left.
on the other side. The PB, sorry, the rest of these 5th and C guys need to come up and help. Because this is, they're outnumbered, but they can get some easy out of line kills here. That was a lot of dead artillery, perfect artillery shot right here if they wanted to. And 30th Ohio has fell back in the cone once again, and the Union goes to engaged. And there goes the USA. Tickets are still close. It's been just under 15 minutes. We've had one real melee that's just happened just then, but other than that, it's all kind of just a back and forth skirmish. IB and A&V have pushed down towards the corner of these two snake fences to see if they can catch the 30th Ohio, who is shifting from the cornfield. They just don't want to fight it out with them like that. And they may end up taking positions up on the right flank, Union right flank, with the PAs. A lot of dead people up here from shooting and artillery fire. And more coming in from the other side of the field. They are dropping a couple of guys there.
Get in line, take it in 40 seconds.
From all the way out there.
Left knee, a right knee, and a weenie.
Yeah, if you get shot, it's from south.
Stay down. Be patient, boys.
More shots coming in from the guys regrouping at the bottom of the fence. Oh, another guy dead.
Direct left.
Hood turning a blind eye to
Yeah.
the deaths he is receiving. from. Let's figure out which unit it is. Which one's volleying and which one's independent firing. Let's find out. So the volleying regiment is the IB, and the independent firing regiment is the ANV. So they are getting some shots. They're killing a couple. Not a huge amount to make a massive difference. Oh, and they dropped the flag. I spoke too soon. And another guy.
Right, don't punch.
Hood
don't
walking
punch.
directly towards them in a nice spread out formation.
Killing this line.
Another guy down.
Oh,
IB volleying. And they're now forming up.
In the depth of Rollins, fall back.
Independent firing over here towards the ANV and the IB. Don't think they killed anybody there. But the 30th Ohio has advanced back into the corn and will be appearing on the left flank of ANV, or the right flank of ANV. But they are moving further away, which has it'll put the 30th Ohio's angle completely off, because they're not going to have amazing shots from this side. If they were still in that corner, they would have had better shots, but because they're not, and they're kind of down the road, how it kind of drops into a bit of a hill, they're not going to be able to see too much of the CSA from that angle in the corner. Artillery getting another good shot off there. Another good shot by artillery.
Here they come.
They're charging.
The CSA is about to get pushed by the 42nd and the 30th Ohio. The flag has gone down for the Iron Brigade. Let's see how this one plays out. 30th Ohio getting around the flank of IB and ANV. And it looks like they are maybe charging straight down. Yep. IB is running away.
Officer.
IB not doing a great job of communicating that right flank charge just then, and it will most likely result in IB and ANV both getting wiped. Union has been, well, they haven't been pushed out of this top corner, but the CSA has taken the forest line, as the Pennsylvania Army just does not have enough numbers to repel both
Oh, this fucking shit,
PA, SR,
right here,
I mean
Fifth.
PB, SR,
Right here, Fifth,
and the
right
5th
here.
NC. Artillery has some amazing shots on these guys now if they wanted to. Whether or not they oh, there it is. Beautiful. From the artillery battery over here. Some fantastic shots by the ANV boys in brown. Lovely job by them. Another artillery shot coming in, landing slightly low and maybe slightly late. The second one was a bit more accurate, but it could have been useful about 20 to 30 seconds earlier. .42nd moving back over to the CSA left Union right flank to try and repel the 5th NC and PB advance. Will it work? I have no idea. But Ninja was getting a bit spicy with his pistol and lost his noggin for it. Whereabouts is the 30th Ohio? Are they over here too? Yes, they are. The 30th Ohio is joining the rest of the Union in this corner. So artillery should have a field day, and infantry should too. If they can surround them and corner them in this corner, they've got their spawn trapped, and they've got them trapped. So it'll be interesting to see how the CSA responds to the Union grouping up like this. 20 minutes gone, and the CSA is at just into engaged, and the Union is about 2/3 of the way to taking losses, and ANV comes back to recover their flag. Which one is their flag? I don't know. They're pretty much both the same. It's gonna be hard to tell. Artillery shooting at nothing really on that left battery over there. But we do have an engagement coming in at the top of the hill. A big push coming in from Union all the way down this fence. The CSA will likely get their asses handed to them here. But at what cost to the Union morale? We do not know. The counter charge has been called. Union is going all the way back. Oh, missing all those shots on this one guy. Oh, and he goes down. And they were continuing the push, but have stopped. If artillery could hit these guys coming back, that would really hit. They are very blobbed up right now, the Union. And the CSA is pushing the fence. ANV coming up to hit their sides, blocking them off. They've all fired their shots. And they're charging straight in. They need to get out of there because they're not winning that engagement. Very good maneuver by Scoins there to pick off a couple.
Watch this guy. Watch this guy.
40 seconds, still chasing a couple of them. If they turn around, they can pick off some of these guys. And the whole Union force is just chasing ANV through the open field. Fairly successful maneuver there for Scoins. He managed to pull out with the majority of his line intact and his flag. And he got a couple kills for it as well, so that's fairly good for the CSA. And the Union is almost in taking losses. This poor guy was about to hop the fence and almost got sent flying. A little low by artillery there. I'm not sure which battery it was. Hitting the hill on point. So, from the looks of it, which regiment is this? Is the 30th Ohio? The 30th Ohio is falling back behind their spawn to either try and confuse the CSA or to save on some casualties, while the 42nd, led by the glorious Hood, continues to push up and gets killed out of line, and the 42nd PA runs straight into the CSA, but the CSA withdraws, and the Union is now in taking losses. Artillery shots coming in hot and heavy now. CSA does have a sizable group over here now, compared to the Union, now that the 30th Ohio is back shooting from their spawn. I don't really like this sort of tactic from the Union, because normally on this map the Union, if they're just aggressive enough and they hold their relative positions, as you can see, the CSA has been fairly aggressive, the artillery has been on point, and the tickets are still fairly close. So it's still all to play for, as PA does some Pennsylvania shit with the 42nd and starts pushing the Union back once again, or the CSA back once again. This is how aggressive the Union needs to be. They need to just take those tickets. Look at those outer liners they're gonna get. and they forced the CSA back to their road. Currently, the 30th Ohio isn't necessarily helping their team, but they are getting shot by artillery. Whether or not those shots are just past them, but one of the shots looked like it went straight through the middle of their line there, so we'll see how the artillery progresses on their fight into the Union spawn. But currently we have the A&V in the center shooting up towards the top of the hill, and IB is still over on this back fence volleying up towards the top. The balance is currently in the CSA's favor right now, but the CSA obviously has the 13 men on artillery, which won't necessarily help them when it comes to that late game melees over point. You got Kevin here scouting for the artillery right up close and personal, seeing what his guys can do. While the Union is pushed up here, it gives the CSA an opportunity to sit back on this fence and shoot it out with them without having to push up and be too aggressive. As you saw there, a couple of guys were dropping. As another artillery shot goes off. Firing a bit blind though through the bushes, which may not help them. But we'll see how they do. Iron Brigade now advancing further towards the center with the help of A&V to their right, who is still in the road. Scoins now jumping over the fence, seeing if he can catch the Union off guard again. Will it work? We don't know. They might be capturing the point too, since the time is of the essence. 17 minutes remaining. Taking losses to almost taking losses. But I think the CSA just needs to play it a bit more safe now. But yep, Scoins is going straight through the cap, trying to come up all the way onto, which regiment is this? Is this which? The Pennsylvania Army. Have they noticed them yet? They haven't. They haven't noticed them. They haven't realized it yet.
Wait, there's an officer in that bush.
Has the 42nd realized it though?
Oh.
Oh, they haven't.
Yeah.
And the A&V comes in behind. They're not going to win this engagement, but they can definitely get some tickets down. Their flag needs to get out of there though. The question that Scoins needs to ask himself was it worth it? As you see, Pearl, look at him still fighting on the point there, and he goes down. Was it worth it? That is the question. A&V got wiped and they lost their flag, killed by the glorious, oh, not Kilroy. It was. How dare he? But they did manage to get some nice shots off into both PA and 42nd PA. And the CSA is pushing up and has all of their flags caught off guard. 42nd comes straight in to reinforce. Their charge is very spread out right now by the CSA. This will not help them at all. But it may put them closer to being at breaking in 15 minutes. And Doug comes out with A&V's flag. What a savior. Artillery landing a bit of a low shot there, hitting the hill. And 42nd, 30th Ohio has now joined them on this flank.
Grab that tree, grab that tree.
Ooh, and a little far on those shots too. If they can just get those accurate shots they were hitting at the beginning, they can really do some damage here.
One to the shoulder, one to the
There it is.
Let's go. Pull it back.
This is where their arties were hitting.
I'm SpongeBob. I'm SpongeBob.
30th thinking they're safe back here. I don't think they will be. As you can see here, the fence is broken due to artillery fire.
Don't even try to
No,
retake
I
it.
agree.
Just
CSA moving back up
Yeah, I agree.
on the left flank. It is the ANV.
what they're doing.
Another artillery shot coming in, landing fairly close and forcing the 30th Ohio to fall back once again. But now the CSA has all of their forces on this side apart from IB and the guys that are regrouping from their main spawn, which is the 4th NC. Got 5th NC PFC Henry here on a mission, and this is a beautiful little 3-rank formation from 42nd PA there. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out.
South-southeast. Oh,
No,
fuck.
What is it,
That was a very
That must have been an accident.
No,
there's no way.
Where's double quick not as fast?
There's no way they're out of
I
like.
know.
Here's to hoping they are.
It has been a long time now. The game has been going on for about 30, just over 30 minutes now. So artillery will surely be depleted. You have the ANV now moving down the fence.
They're right here.
Coin toss leading the way. Pearl getting his shot off. Is this going to put the Union into breaking? I guess we're going to find out. There is a full-blown push going on right now.
Union.
Gareth is going over. He's going to get Diaz. Oh, he gets taken out. Josephus coming in there, pistol locked and loaded.
Get on the fence, PA. Get on the fence.
And PA comes up and reinforces, wiping this Union CSA push, and actually for the first time taking control of the ticket lead. They're very close to breaking right now, with IB right under point. I feel like there should have been some more guys there. I don't know if everybody went in or not. But I feel like these guys in the middle here should have been involved. If they were in that charge, they would have wiped the Union. Because 30th Ohio is all the way back in their spawn and not really contributing a big amount to the overall battlefield here, especially when there's a melee going on.
Yeah, I buy that.
But the CSA very close to breaking. The Union slightly ahead. Let's see which one gets to breaking first and how each side reacts. CSA is sending members to pre-cap the point, meaning they may end up doing a subtle suicide push onto the Union position. I wouldn't expect them to cap it while almost at breaking though. So the CSA needs to make a push now, or they're not gonna, unless they're just capping the point up, which is a fairly smart plan That's a smart thing to do. With the new mechanics of being in skirmishing to capture the point, it really does make it easier to jump off and on the point.
Man, dude, I'm right here.
Down the fence.
I couldn't name anyone.
PA is firing line. How to do a volley.
Are you sure we're looking at the right kill line?
That's a cracking volley.
I know I have.
You still have this amazing through rank formation from 42nd PA.
Independent fire, you heard him. Independent fire.
Book.
It's independent fire.
Only shoot you can see, don't miss your shots.
What? Oh, that guy's dead.
Fuck if we're independent fires.
Are they doing much damage though? That's the question. They're fighting the E and V right now, who are independently firing back at the 42nd. 8 minutes to go on the timer.
I can see a flag kind of like,
They're
south.
gathering.
It's all to play for right now. The CSA has resisted the urge to capture point.
No, Rollins.
I see blue flag down there, southwest.
30th Ohio is too far away from the point to if the Union was to go to breaking, would not have time to get on and capture it. The CSA just needs to throw themselves at the Union position right now.
Gentlemen, if you have aim button, now it's
Get them straight into breaking.
More left, go, 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 go.
CSA pushing in straight into their side. The Union doesn't know it yet, but it's going to put them into breaking nonetheless. But they're going to have enough guys to start the counter cap on point. 30th Ohio moved down from the hill at the correct time and are going to come in and reinforce and most likely wipe the CSA position. Crawford playing some amazing violin songs. Unfortunate. And the cap is done. A very long match. Came down to the wire the last 6 minutes or so. Both teams fighting back and forth for that top position. And a lot of long range shooting, but in my opinion, one of the big helpers for the CSA was their artillery. I was very optimistic at the beginning about having so many guys on artillery, but they definitely proved their worth, as you'll see with some of these artillery shots, that they were just pounding 42nd PA and PA on that top side, burning through their ammunition, but they got a lot of good hits, which definitely helped. I feel like if the 30th Ohio maybe had been more aggressive with the rest of the Union, the CSA may have ended up being slightly more behind on the ticket front. But because they weren't, as you can see, the casualties 441 for the Union and in the 300s for the CSA. And as the attacking regiment, or the attacking side, the CSA should have been way higher on the casualties. But props to the Union for putting up a stellar defense. And we're into the second game. Piper Farm as the CSA on the defense and the Union on the attack this time. I am fairly excited to see how this one is going to play out. That first one was fairly long. There wasn't a lot that happened, but overall it was still a pretty good game. Artillery wise, we have 10 men on artillery, which puts them down to 67, which is still only 5 less than the Union, and that is with the Union's 5 on artillery. So infantry numbers are at a complete even right now. May that change? We don't know. Let's find out. Immediately off the bat, you can see Pickett's Brigade is heading to the left with the Army of Northern Virginia and the 5th NC. Seems the CSA is going for a very left-heavy strat this game. Followed by SR, Tall Grey, Best Grey. IB currently still getting their loads and spawn. And the 4th NC Cav still in spawn. That drummer is getting...
Falling behind. Copy. You. Get one of the columns.
Let me get rid of this guy.
March right.
Right. Not the case, son.
Get him out of here. Am I right? Let's listen to the backlash of that action. Let's see. Let's hear them cry. Let's hear them cry. I want them to cry. Cry for me, Noah. Cry for me. They're not crying. Why is nobody crying? Alright, whatever. In the center, you have the artillery boys loading up their cannons, supported by the SR infantry. Tall Grey right there, level 100. A pro at the game. And the CSA is pushed very heavy on this road. They've pushed all the way down on this left side. They did recently update the boundaries, but I didn't realize that you could go all the way down the left as the CSA too. I thought it was just a Union thing. This does kind of change the strat a bit for the CSA. If they take this wall, it can be an absolute nightmare for the USA, but the USA has instead went for a far right attack, far left for their perspective. The 42nd PA throwing themselves up this hill, followed by the 30th Ohio. Ninja and his boys are taking the corner Stonewall position. Union, not necessarily, I don't think they realize that the CSA has completely really abandoned this position. They don't see whatever the hell's going on in here, happening in here. I believe this is artillery. Let's just take a little look in here. Yeah, we got some artillery boys in here.
How are y'all doing today?
Cosmic.
Oh, it's amazing.
Is that the whole hold on. Is that the whole enemy line right
yes,
there
that's
on that
the entire enemy team.
on
That's
the
flags.
stone wall right there?
Wonderful news. But the Union has taken the stone wall, and Kevin is not gonna give him an easy ride. He'll fight them all on his own. Seems he killed the Union officer. What a guy, and he survived to live the tale. CSA allowing the Union to capture the point. Whether the Union captures it or not, I guess, is the question. But all of the CSA is currently chilling in this road. The far left position is held by the ANV, and Scoins leading the second round as well as first. In the center, you got the 4th North Carolina Cavalry and the 5th North Carolina and Pickett's Brigade on the right flank. Artillery here slightly exposed. They've turned their cannons to face off against the 30th Ohio and PA. Surprised the Union hasn't tried to push the artillery yet. I think they're more afraid of dealing with this huge wall defense that they have going on. But I'll be interested to see how that unfolds as the battle goes on. Fairly strange tactic. We haven't seen something like this before, but nonetheless should be interesting. We do have CSA artillery pushing up on the back, running away. Not taking any casualties as of yet. They're all missing, but Helsky is swift to die because he does not. He cannot run, and there he goes. Taking their positions again in the hut. Nice Rambo kill here. Cosmic missed. Does Cosmic know he's coming around the left? He does, and he gets the kill. Good artillery shot here in the center, dropping the flag. And here comes the CSA, doing a very wide flank, They really did update the borders for this map, and the Union had no idea.
Charge straight down the middle.
I'm gonna come on your dad, buddy.
The CSA taking the Union's cone.
I think the limit is here.
Here comes the CSA, charging straight in. Is that officer gonna get shot? No, the officer misses. How is this gonna unfold? The Union getting hammered right now. And we also have another push in the middle. It's all kicking off. Artillery is being pushed. They're trying to get their load off, but I don't think you're gonna get that, Ben. Oh, unfortunate by Ben there. Is Ben gonna make it out alive? Oh, friendlies get stabbed. And it leaves them in the open to being shot. Dog getting killed out of line. Was that beneficial for the CSA? I think so. The Union is going to be flooding through the cone from their main spawn over here. And the Union artillery not done a whole lot right now because they do not have the shots to do so. But the Union is taking the wall. Slim Jim is going to give chase. But it will be out of bounds. Oh, will he get a kill here? Nope. He runs away. Hobbit chasing in slowly after him. But he's not going to catch him. CSA not wanting to retake the point as of yet. They are instead surrounding the CSA position here as they get charged on the hay bales. They need to break their loads and get ready for the fight. And they get sandwiched by the men on the stone wall coming in from the Iron Brigade and the ANV. CSA being more aggressive than the Union right now, and it may end up paying off for them. 42nd PA getting a team kill there by their artillery. Union falling all the way back to their stone wall.
Independent fire.
Go with the friendlies, go with the friendlies.
Where are we expecting them?
CSA artillery back on their guns. They should have some nice prime shots of this big Union force over here in the forest. Mainly Bush's battery over here. Let's see just how well he does.
Just running again? Where you guys go?
CSA going back to the stone wall. Pretty much a full reset here. The CSA not bothering to retake the point as of yet. They are going to try and get the tickets down as far as they can in the next 14 minutes. Which will be an interesting strategy for them. I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Small Union group here, PA.
They have a cannon aimed at your previous position. All they got to do is turn it. They're doing it right now.
Get ready to break your shit and move. Break your shit and move. To the right, to the right, to the right.
They're breaking in both positions, but Oni does not give a damn. Ninja coming out to fight the artillery boys. Oh, my camera lagged a bit there. But gets taken down by Kevin. Oh, okay. My camera's fixed again. It just wanted to go on its own. And there's the artillery shot. Killing their poor flag bearer. Didn't really do anything else. Just the flag. But tickets are tickets. Union making a push down the main road, the 42nd PA. Nice shot on their flag there.
Oh, they're fucked up.
CSA has a stonewall and the 42nd PA does not. How is this going to affect it? It's going to be a huge effect as they already are on the retreat. That corporal being fairly aggressive. Flag goes down again as they're just shooting them in the back. Missing a lot of shots. Killed one guy, but they had the potential to kill a lot more there. Oh, the flag goes down again.
Flag.
You shit to me.
Woman up here, boys.
And they form up. Artillery is being overrun again in the orchard by the 30th Ohio, who is taking the artillery again. The artillery needs to be a lot better. Oh, does Sir Gorney see this guy?
What do you do?
Oh, he does see him.
We're brothers. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are we bros?
Yeah, that's 2 out of liners.
Is there any cannon that's not occupied? Any cannon?
There's the ones in the orchard.
Union making another push along the snake fence here. Don't believe they're going to try and go down towards the wall, but may in fact just try and hit the CSA position in the side as the CSA goes to try and wipe out the 30th Ohio, who have taken position on the wall. Now, does the CSA here, the A and V and 4th and C, do they see them? Yes, they do. They don't really have good shots. They're firing blind for a bush, but they are most definitely killing some of them, which is nice. And an artillery shot, it looks like, too.
What? Huh?
And here comes the 42nd.
Get back here.
Yeah,
Charging straight at the artillery.
Amen.
Another good hit by artillery, wiping all the PA. CSA wiping the 30th Ohio. It just seems like there's like periods of no action followed by a ton of action. And the 42nd PA starts heading straight towards the hay bales where the CSA is formed, not necessarily ready, but they are there. 42nd charging in very sporadically. Kevin doing God's work over there. CSA is still behind on tickets though. No matter how hard they try. Swiftly followed in by, I believe, the A and V. Yep. Coin toss. Not waiting for anybody. He's going to get straight into the back of these fools. Yep. Going straight in. Going for that flag bearer. Getting that flag bearer and getting killed by Hood. And a friendly being killed too. A and V taking a position on the fence, not knowing about the 30th Ohio coming up on their side. CSA spawn is a lot closer than the Union spawn here, so this is the opportunity they need to take to get him in the back. 30th Ohio about to hit Wolfie in the flank. Oh, some friendly team kills there. CSA is charging in very wild. And here comes the Pennsylvania Army. Doesn't seem like the CSA has everybody right now. Seems like they're still fairly... They've got a unit missing, which is the unit that's still on the stone wall. And another good artillery shot. Getting the Union into taking losses. I like the style that the CSA is playing here. It's not necessarily working for them, but it's a good style. They're playing it rough. They're
Hold here.
waiting for their engagements, and they're gonna now cap the point back. After officially 5 minutes on the actual event timer.
Once we cap, back to the road, gentlemen. Once we cap, back to the road. Go.
It is taking losses. The CSA is going to fall back to the road now and most likely wait there and let the Union come at them, or the Union will be forced to capture the point again. But the Union has 40 minutes, so they got plenty of time to shoot the CSA into last stand or breaking. But they just need to be careful about their artillery. This regiment, this artillery group in the corn here, on the orchard, my bad. These guys need to be very careful about not dying out of line. They need to be extremely careful. Same thing with these guys in the middle. My guys, they need to be very, very careful about not wasting tickets for the team. I'm surprised the tickets haven't went back up yet. They do take a minute, but
Matter of fact, every time you see all of us go, we're fucking going. We're going hard.
CSA taking up position on the road. Union heading back to the corn. How long will the Union take before they go for the point again? They have plenty of time, so I don't think they're gonna, I don't think they're gonna do it very fast, but the CSA is shooting from a very long distance, trying to shoot along this stone wall. It's not going to do too much good for them, but it's something to shoot at. See, the CSA's tickets is already going down, and that is down to artillery. Artillery is the only thing that is possibly dying in this game right now. And they're dying and skirmishing in outer line. Who do we have coming down the main road? Ninja and the PA boys, the Pennsylvania Armors, the ANVs, Brother in Blue. One of the most aggressive regiments I know, but they do their job.
Who's probably smart.
CSA, well, USA completely falling back in the corn. They might be trying to get around this wall area because the CSA is bordering up on this wall. It's going to take a lot to try and take these guys out. They need to take the opportunity that they have to pick off all these people that are out of line. All the artillery guys and all these random guys that are just out of line, chilling. You know, you got Mr. Riddle.
Fucking blown up or some shit.
Got
Wow.
Torgray.
Wow.
Just chatting away in the main spawn. Oh, and the Union has decided to go back through the corn. Seemed Ninja and the rest of the Union had switched places. Okay, now the Union is pushing up through the orchard. These artillery guys should already be back. Yep, they're going. Perfect. That's what the CSA needs. The CSA needs to conserve their tickets as much as possible, and that means falling back when they're being pushed. Like this guy here. What are you doing? You need to fall back, Mitchie. He's not helping his team right now. Ninja's gonna spot him from a mile off. Oh, did he? This is like, it's like one of those national like animal programs. You know, you got the predator and their prey.
Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Ninja has now spotted them. Is he gonna catch them? He's now gonna get 2 out of lines. Is he gonna kill Mitchie? He does. He gets them both. This is the kind of stuff that we don't want to happen. As the Union charges down towards the stone wall, they are most definitely going to get the CSA into breaking fairly quickly. And there is no CSA near point to stop the cap.
Oh wow!
42nd PA doing a great job at dismantling the CSA position here. And CSA doing the smart tactic
Fall back, guys, fall back,
and
fall
leaving
back.
the engagement.
Fall back, we're falling back, fall back.
They stopped to volley and
30th Ohio and 42nd PA
I'm sorry, that sucks.
it was between
dislodging the CSA fortress on the wall
Climb over.
in one foul push. Now, the Union is already capping point. This could be troublesome for them if they don't jump off it. I believe Ninja and his guys will just be capping the point up. Tickets are in the favor of the Union right now. Union advancing down the road. This regiment here, 4th NC, you guys need, they should be pulling back as well with the rest of the CSA because the Union is not going to give these guys an inch.
Get ready, aim at those flags. At those flags. Keep it up. Oh my god. Did we get any?
Hood's about to lie to his men and tell them that they killed at least 5 or 6
I
of
can
them.
still see him. I can still see him. Buck rear loaded.
Still got eyes, yeah.
Buck.
Buck.
Buck. Buck.
Buck. Take
Okay,
aim those
Buck.
flags. Aim a little high.
Dropping 2 of the flags. Or all 3 of the 2 of the flags went down there. That was good shots by the 42nd. Ninja getting his guys on the cap once again to cap that point up for them.
Alright, let's go kill these already get behind us.
And jumping off it. Artillery once again need to stop. They just need to stay back.
Let's sword fight.
But the problem is the artillery guys just they really want the kill, you know. They want to get get their shot off. It's not gonna help. It's not gonna help their team. CSA regrouping behind the barn, ready to jump on the point at any notice. The tickets are still close. If the Union starts being too overly aggressive and too sloppy, the CSA will easily be able to just overcome them if the CSA groups up and plays well. This regiment back here, 4th NC Cav, needs to shift their asses because they are being useless right now. There is, as the defending team, yes, it is good to, you know, conserve tickets, but they are on the opposite corner of the map to where the point is. When they hit breaking, the CSA is not going to be able to rely on them at all to help the team.
Here they come, here they come.
And here comes the 30th Ohio. Will likely get the CSA into breaking here. And PA is on point, waiting and ready. They said let's hit him, and nobody moved. These CSA guys need to get moving. A&V and IB. They need to get their move on.
999.
They killed enough of the 30th Ohio, and they leveled the tickets almost.
Okay, Boomer, plus small piece, plus your alert,
999,
plus get wrecked, plus troll, plus your loss, plus muted, plus ban, plus kick, plus permaban, plus use.
And there's the breaking. That one Rambo. The CSA needs to go about 15 seconds ago. Are they going to make it a point in time? That is the big question. 40-second PA rushing in. They should be able to get on point and stop this cap before 40-second PA gets there. And they should be able to wipe PA. If they can wipe the Pennsylvania Army, they can level these tickets up. But the 40-second PA is coming in swift and fast. And does the CSA see that? That is the question. They do. Fifth NC pushing all the way to the back. Getting some nice outer lines.
You come over here.
Kyle getting the kill. The 40-second PA is standing there facing all of the CSA right now. While getting shot in the back.
Loading fire, loading fire, loading fire.
I have Rio covered. Focus front. I got Rio.
This charging in one by one is not going to help the CSA at all. It's going to kill the 42nd, but their charge was so sloppy. That it wasn't really useful.
Yeah, we just stomped those guys.
Now we got the rest of the Union regrouping at main. Tickets are close. If the CSA throws a couple suicide pushes towards point, and the Union can get on top of that, it can very much help the team. But they do not want to fall too far back. And here comes the CSA, I mean the USA, my apologies, pushing up straight onto the cap. In my opinion, they should have waited for the 42nd to at least be on the wall to kind of support their push.
I pissed him off with this, man. This is me for 5 minutes.
Now, how is the CSA going to respond to this? Second PA coming straight in as well to reinforce. The CSA so spread out. That is the most unorganized charge I think I've ever seen. But I think a good artillery shot really wiped that first CSA group. 42nd PA already waiting in line behind. Is the 42nd going to be able to get their loads off in time? I don't think they're going to. And the tickets are now pretty much even. If the CSA does not win this, no, I don't think they're going to, and they're going to go in the last stand. If they had just charged in a more condensed group, they would have done way better than they did, but that ultimately put them into last stand. But the Union is almost in final push. Almost. The good thing for the CSA is they managed to get a full wipe before last stand. Bocephus getting his life saved.
This is stupid. You guys are dying.
And Hood dying. Put them into final push. The Union now has 2 minutes. The CSA needs to get everyone they have straight to that stone wall. And they need to hold forward if they're going to try and hold this. The way that they want to hold it right now, they need to be firm in their defense. Nice artillery shot. And the Union is flooding in. It's going to be a very close hold. Oh, Union being smart, going around the flank. CSA isn't necessarily ready for it, but the 4th NC is coming down to support them. They need to make sure they still keep guys on the cap though. The Union getting pretty much swept up in that first push. They have a minute remaining. Are they going to have enough time? They may. They may have time for one last push from their spawn without bats or reloads. But there is just not enough CSA left, I don't believe. The CSA kind of spent their numbers. I think if that final charge they did before last stand had been more successful, they would have had this. In all fairness, they are still holding on the point, and they have a reserve group. Here comes a group from the USA trying to push up. Honcho is still alive, getting all the kills. 15 seconds remaining. Does the CSA have enough? It's going to be very close. They may have it. And they do. And the CSA has won down to the last second. That was an absolutely amazing battle, both by the Union and the CSA. And props to both teams, because that was a very, very close game. And yeah, wow, nice. Let's see what the casualties were. I was very optimistic about that forward defense, but in all fairness, the CSA played very well. They kind of tried to group up as much as they can. If their charges were maybe less sloppy, they may have saved more tickets over the long run, but they played a different strategy that I've never seen before, and they did well with it, and it came down to the wire. So good job for both teams, Union and CSA. And the casualties were on the screen there. Over 500 for the attacking team there, which was wild. But this has been the Northern Virginia Network by the best Brit in War of Rights. Yee yee, huzzah huzzah, God save the king. Alright, so just introduce yourselves. So we'll go from the one side to the next one. So first we got Honcho.
My name is Honcho Ed of the 5th NC. This guy's not Honcho Ed, he's pointing at you, but I'm Honcho Ed of the 5th NC. First Lieutenant, Victory Team on these previous maps that we discussed.
We got Doug.
Captain Doug of the 5th NC.
Ninja. We got Ninja. You're
on Discord.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, in Discord. Tell them who you are, sir.
Lieutenant Colonel Ninja of the Pennsylvania Army.
We have S-Coins.
I am Scoins, First Lieutenant of ANV.
We got Mac.
Yep, Captain Mac, A&V, 10th Alabama.
My boss.
So we're going to discuss the first map first, Hill's counterattack. Pretty much what your initial strategies were and how you guys reacted to the, I'm not going to say the ever-changing battlefield. Just the battlefield.
Do it. Say it.
How you guys reacted to the ever-changing
Right
battlefield. CSA, we'll start with you guys as the attacking regiment. So what were your guys' strategy to begin with Honcho, start. You can start.
All right, so our battle plan was to hold the fucking woods on the left side, Union right, and we did such a thing. I don't think we died. At least we weren't wiped at all. We did some dying, but we also did some killing. Hell yeah, Doug.
Quite a bit of dying. Dog, you were up on that hill. What was it like from your perspective?
Yeah, well, like you said, we died a lot. We killed a lot. Fun though. Yeah, we held the left. That's where we were the whole time.
Yeah, touch my tip.
Scoins, you and ANV started off on the right flank.
We did.
So
yes.
What was your initial strategy?
Yeah, so the going initial strategy for the whole group, I think, was this: is we wanted to be ever flowing and keep, really good communications and team speak, and adjust as needed. As the right group, we were focused on the far right snake fence, and trying to bring down tickets. But there was one group that just stayed in the back. They were like stuck in the corn. It was a larger group, like 30 people, and they stayed back there. So we were firing on them, and just trying to make maneuvers so we could get good kills, and bring down their tickets. That's what our strategy was, and it was ever changing, due to the needs of the actual map and what what Union was doing.
Yeah. Mark, do you want to add anything to that? You were over there with. I saw you. You were kind of watching the flank of the line, watching the cornfield a lot when you were shooting up the hill.
Yeah, Scoins did a big majority of the leading tonight, so hats off to him. Yeah, Union holding back like they did, gave us a lot of openings to maneuver through that middle field, and really we just picked good engagements at the right time. There were some opportune times for sure, like the rear charge near the end. But yeah, hats off to Scoins.
You guys switched to the left side of the map at some point. Why did you switch to the left and get off the right flank?
Honestly, the reason. Well, I'm sorry, Mac, but the reason why I felt like the reason why I felt we needed to do that was because we had that one charge where we went across the middle of the field where, quite frankly, I guess Union wasn't talking to each other, because the group that was of 30 people should have probably advised the other group on the right that, hey, there's this big fucking gray unit moving across the middle of the field, including Point, that is going to meet them over there. And they didn't. But what happened was after we got wiped there, we were going for a ticket loss. We didn't care. We just wanted to bring the tickets into our normal. We knew we were going to lose it, but we wanted to take as many as we could with them. But my thoughts on when joining Doug and his group was the group, a Union group on the far right, excuse me, had been used to the two groups there.
Yeah.
But now, if they were going to move into us, I wanted 3 groups there. You know what I mean? So I figured they'd be surprised if we had more guys there and we could overwhelm them at that point. And it was close enough to where we were getting them to potentially breaking. And quite frankly, when we were on that left side, we were very fortunate that Union decided to make a push towards Point, while we had decided to charge at a certain time down that left side fence. And it just happened to be as we charged, they moved to Point. So we sort of got on their side at the same time, and it worked out wonderful for us.
All right. Ninja, you're obviously the only regiment on the Union that's here. So you were on the top of the hill with the 40 seconds. So what was your initial strategy on the Union side to stack the top of that hill pretty much?
Well, first off, I mostly agree. See it the same way as these lads here. It was well fought by both sides. Our initial plan was to send we have 2 large groups on our side, CB and 42nd. We sent CB left, 42nd right, and PA was going to be like right mid. I like to hold the right side on that. I think it's the high ground. It covers Point, so I think it's the most important side to hold for Union. So we wanted to not lose that. We got a lot of really good trades over there, despite what Huncho would have you believe. We wiped you guys multiple times.
You did.
Negative. My flag never failed.
No, we wiped you multiple times.
My flag never failed, buddy.
Well, it's on video, so we don't have to argue about it.
Flag never failed. As long as the flag stands.
It was well fought by both sides. I think anybody could have won that map. I think if we could have had some help from one of the large groups on our side to defend point at the end. I think we could have made a fight for it.
And I'll
but
bring up a
overall, I
point.
think it was mostly well played by our
Yeah,
lads.
and I apologize, Ninja,
Until the end.
And I'm sorry, but
Hey, go
I
ahead.
think Ninja's right, because you guys, when you guys were moving into point, there was a group that sat back, and there was like 30 people that just sat back, and they were so out of position of point where they could have came in and swept in and like maybe held point for a lot longer, and it would have helped their unit. But they were too far out of reach, and by that time we had taken point and won the fucking match.
No, we were ahead on tickets. We could have put you guys into a final push scenario.
Yep.
And we were not even really close to last stand, so we could have defended it if we had the guys. It just so happened that when time ran out, those guys were not on the point. That's the story of that one. I mean, we played it well until the end.
It was a pretty close game throughout.
Wiped Huncho a shitload.
Fuck you, buddy.
So
I got one more thing.
come on, then, Huncho. Yeah.
All right, so I told Doug pre-cap it so you can't pre-cap no more. I told him preferably I'd rather cap it if we could get as close as we did. This man right here, this guy, Captain Doug, did due diligence. Fucking pre-capped the fuck out of it, and we capped it.
Someone wants a promotion.
He's my hero.
Right, so second map, Piper Farm. Ninja, your team was attacking, so what was your guys' initial attacking strategy? Normally, recently, you know, a lot of the Union regiments have went around the Union right towards that road, and the CSA left. But what was your guys' strategy for taking the orchard straight away?
Well, I'm known to be an open book about strategies. I think I don't care if you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it anyway, even though that might sound bad. There are certain positions on certain maps in this game that are just most beneficial to hold, and you take them at any cost. I happen to think that one of those is the orchard on Piper Farm, because if we go right into your caissons, you guys can just shoot us in the back from the stone wall and the hay bale. But if we take the orchards on the left, you can't shoot us in the backs. You can hide behind the stone wall, but we have arty and other options as far as capping point early and whatnot. So I think the left is the better option. We all chose to go left, and when we saw that you guys were hanging back, we capped it super early. That was my guys to draw you guys out. We had a few battles. You guys played that super aggressively, I think, which is nice. I love to see that. I forget where I'm at now.
Super aggressive. It was nice
super
for
aggressive.
us.
Yes, you were super aggressive.
Perfect. All right. So defenders, CSA, you played a fairly unusual strategy, but obviously with the new boundaries on that map, it's something that maybe more CSA units will try. But what was your guys' initial strategy on that map, and then how did you react to them capping point so early on?
I think Doug should speak on that, because it was mainly Doug's strategy when they wanted to position us.
Doug?
Yeah, hold the left wall, stack it. Everybody, stay away from the orchard, stay away from that stone wall at the barn, stack the road. They fell right into it. I mean, they capped the point. We got super aggressive. Once they capped the point, we basically went far left. A lot of people don't know. I don't know if they know or not, but
I
we went
reminded
left,
Doug about
got into
that.
the corn, fought there. We actually
I knew you
fucked
could
it up.
do that, but I'd never seen it actually done.
Yeah, we did fuck it up.
We didn't fuck it up.
Yeah, so I invited that maneuver.
Yeah, no,
my
what?
wife came in and distracted me.
I will say what would happen in TeamSpeak was one of our
Chat.
units.
He means Steam Chat.
Yeah, in Steam Chat, Doug was talking about, listen, we all need to go and we all need to do this. We all need to follow it, and we need to have faith that it's going to work. So, a couple of us, you know, like AMV, I know we followed Doug on the left charge there, because I honestly didn't know you could get that far in the corner. And I made a comment that I've played this game a long time. I've been 2-3 years here playing War of Rights, and I never knew you could do that. I guess it's been updated from one of the updates.
Yeah.
But you know, you gotta trust the other guys who know the map boundaries, and we followed them. It was really weird, but it was really successful. But again, we had a couple groups that didn't have good communication that stayed back, and we were pretty pissed at them for a little bit. But eventually, they were like, we better go with them the next time, because Doug made it evidently clear in the team speak that if we do that charge again, that everyone goes with it, because we need the support.
So towards the end, what was your guys' decision for doing that forward defense in the last stand instead of the original, like the normal, like holding back on the point in the line kind of defense that normal regiments use?
The boundary thing again, I pretty much told everybody, okay, you already see that the boundaries push past that, because I think before you couldn't even get to the stone wall.
Yeah.
So
it was about 30 paces shy of the stone wall before.
Yeah, but now you can get in the corn. So I said, hey, just hold the stone wall, don't jump over. Fucking, we'll just hold the fucking line, and that we did. I may have missed the shot, but we did it.
And that was a perfect strategy too. And like we had, as a Union side, we had time. We were still at breaking. We were not at final push yet. We could have gotten full kits. And I said in the Steam chat that we should all full kit and push as far left as possible through the corn, push down the wall together with loads, and take it back that way. We had 2.5 minutes left, at least.
But yeah, I mean, as soon as you went to final push, you had 2 minutes and like 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, when I said this in the Steam chat, we were still at breaking. So
yeah, and there was like
we had the time to do it, but they were all saying bayo and go, and I was trying to, stop that, but it didn't work. They all just kind of rushed right into the teeth of that stone wall, like fucking. What do you call that fucker? Fredericksburg. They just Fredericksburg the corn. And I'm like,
went into a
should
meat
push
grinder.
up the left.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like I'm saying, all 4 flags get together in the corn, spawn in officers only, and everybody else club and go. And they just like, it was like I was speaking a completely different language to these folks. So, I mean, we could have also won that one. It was very close, but I think
both
you guys
maps are
played
very
that
close.
It was close.
Yeah, you guys
I
played
mean,
that very well.
When I heard to hold the stone wall, it's still such a new tactic. I was like, wait, like the stone wall in front of the corner. I was like, yeah, that one. But yeah, it worked out.
Mac was like questioning me. I'm like, no, Stonewall be on.
I was like, this Stonewall?
Now, here's been something, and I'm just going to say this. This has been, when I was with Ninth Corps, when I was with Robert, Mac had come up with this idea before, and it was a big thing on hills, where when you would take hills, instead of just sitting on point getting wiped out by the arty and stuff, charge beyond that point and get to the fence. And when, I think it was Doug's group that had said, again, it might have been Honcho that said, we need to go beyond the wall, go to the wall and hold the wall. That was the smartest decision ever, because that's really because if you can hold them from getting to point and you keep the numbers, because I know when we were up there holding that wall, Doug came in and said, listen, anyone who's got a flag, get them back to friggin' point and let them hold point, because they're useless. They got a flag. What are they going to do? Beat them with a point? So, he's like, get them back to point, hold that. And quite frankly,
it was a good idea. They didn't listen, but it was a good idea.
All of us were sitting there doing a countdown. And you know what? Fourth North Carolina was very quiet during the match because he didn't have comms in the Steam chat. But we got lucky that they finally actually came up at the right point, because they pushed the far right wall, which held them into the corner a little bit longer.
Yeah, they stayed that flank.
SR was with them too.
Right.
I heard them at the end.
So we hadn't seen them the whole time. They'd been sitting, and you'll see in the video that they held way in the back, and we're like, what the hell are they doing?
We
after
would have,
we were watching the video.
Done what I said, we would have run right through them at first, and then got you guys.
But they just miracle charged it, and they came in at the last point on that right side, held that right side, which pushed the guys to the left, and Union coming in on the left. Listen, everyone here can tell you that we were in last stand, and we're counting down, and we're like, and when we got 30 seconds, and we're like, everyone was. I really know every group was saying like,
enemies in last stand.
Yeah, because quite frankly, if they'd have regrouped and they'd have held at their spawn, and they would have come in all together, it would have been a shit show for us, because we couldn't have held that wall. But they didn't do that, and they came in piecemeal, and we had guys picking them off while they're coming in, giving us ample time to reload.
Okay,
they were still like 5 seconds away. Y'all were still like 5 seconds away.
We fucked it up. They played it perfectly.
I don't know. Let's talk about it
No,
some
we're
more.
not saying that, but we're saying if they would have listened to whoever said to regroup there,
lost the match.
they would have.
Hey, listen,
they could have
I take
overpowered us.
responsibility because that's what leaders do, Huncho. One day you'll
I
learn
am.
that, you'll make
I
it all
am.
the way up.
I know.
One day you too can wipe your own ass.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I guess this was a bit of an unusual AAR with the officers compared to what Eagle normally does, but I figured it was a pretty tight 2 games, so getting a little AAR would have been nice. But yeah, thank you lads for doing it.